Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. It's the final days of our Black Friday sale. Recharge this season with a bundle of cozy, soothing comfort. Now only $17.99 for our C2 mattress and base, plus free premium delivery. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
We all know those GLP-1 injections work wonders, but that price tag almost gave me a heart attack when my insurance denied coverage. I was staring at a choice between paying my mortgage or paying for weight loss. Talk about a rock and a hard place. Then I found Elevate Health compounded semaglutide at just $58 with payment plans that don't require a second mortgage. Same medication, same results, but a price that real folks can actually afford. Visit joinelevate.com today. That's JOINELEVATE.com. Your wallet will be as happy as your waistline. This medication is not FDA approved.
Everybody, it is Sunday the 18th of August and this is Doing the Thing. I am Lekhika Chaudhary and I am here with Astrid and Chinny from It's a Continent.
Hello.
Hi, and ZARD Radio's Ananya Goyal to talk about everything happening in our world this week. Guys, how are we all doing?
Yeah,
good. A good delayed summer. Yeah.
Good. Awesome. So, to everyone listening, if you're listening live on ZARD Radio Station, where we do the thing, live every Sunday from 8 p.m. UK time, this is how you can get involved. You can tweet us or DM us on Insta and Twitter at ZARD Radio. You can drop us a text, 078 071 83538. You can even email us, station@wizardradio.com, and all of our contact details, as always, are on our website, www.wizardradio.com. So, you guys, I am very excited to discuss things with you guys. But first of all, how is everybody's Sunday been so far? I was going to say Saturday, but it's not Saturday. How's everybody's Sunday been?
Really good, really nice. Just had dinner and ready to catch up.
Same. I'm excited for our first topic because I actually discussed this earlier on today in my show about Disney. Is everybody up to date with a little bit of what's happening? Right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna preface this discussion by saying I'm a lawyer, so I was heated in this discussion earlier today. I was like, what do you mean? So I'll give a little summary to the listeners if anyone's not aware. There was a couple that went to Disney World last year in America, and the wife of that couple passed away because of an allergic reaction. He is now suing Disney along with the specific restaurant for wrongful death. Disney is saying because they signed up for a Disney Plus trial all the way back in 2019, the terms and conditions of that say you essentially can't sue Disney. Everything must be dealt with outside of the courts via arbitration. And so they're trying to apply this clause that he agreed to for a month back in 2019 by essentially saying, you can't take us to court. Take the restaurant, do whatever you want with that, but you can't take us to court. You have to sit with us outside of it and, basically discuss. You can't take us in front of a jury. So what do we think? First of all, who here reads terms and conditions?
I am scared of them.
No one. No one is spending.
Nobody. Like they put like
They're
1,000
for a
things in
reason.
there. Yeah.
No, I agree. And I don't know if you guys remember, and I don't know, maybe it's because it was in law school, but there was a time where Apple's terms and conditions, I've never bought an Apple product, but we studied their terms and conditions for school. And there was a page, it was like the 34th page or the 35th page, very later on, where it was just a joke clause. They included a clause and it was like, if you've read this far, we're so proud of you, lol, thanks for getting here. And it was like, has anybody gotten to this? And it took years until somebody was like, am I tripping or does Apple have a really funny clause on page 30? which shows how little we read these terms and conditions, no?
Yeah,
They're just out here trolling us.
You would never have thought that just because you signed up to a free trial, it could have implications further down the line. I was starting to scramble, like, have I ever signed up to Disney Plus?
I recently did. And when I found out about this, Lekhika got me up to this. So when I found out, I just started thinking, oh my God, Disney's evil. And I need to, like, I'm going to cancel everything.
But the problem is, right, first of all, just from a legal perspective, arbitration clauses, they're not a bad thing, okay? Saying that don't sue us, settle outside of court, it's pretty common for these big corporations. They don't want to be taken to court for everything that they do wrong, because they do things wrong, you know? And they're run by humans. So they're not, the clause itself is not the problem. It's the fact that they're saying a 1 month trial he agreed to all the way back in 2019 is affecting what happened to him and his wife in 2023 in a Disney World park. That's the problem.
Yeah,
there's a disconnect.
No, definitely.
And that's
actually like worrying.
Sorry, go on. Go on.
No, I was going to say that's actually worrying me, because I've been signed up to Disney Plus, and I'm also going to Disneyland. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't know if anything happens. What else have you signed up to from a terms and conditions perspective that years down the line could mean actually I can't hold you to account for anything because I might, like, that's just crazy. There has to be a limit in terms of how far it goes, else anything can be included. And we don't know what we signed up to. Like, I said yes to a lot of things.
Exactly. And I found the Apple thing I was talking about. So it was page 46 for their iOS 7 update. And it was all the way back in 2013. So when I was just about to start law school. And it's just, Google it if you have a minute. And it's hilarious. It's like, oh my God, nobody's still reading this. I bet you just accepted this on the first page. And then there was a experiment done a couple of years ago at, I don't remember which university it was. And they sent students this thing and they were like, oh, sign up to this new sort of app to get all of your textbooks, etc. And everybody clicked yes and signed up. And on the 8th page, and it was an experiment, but on the 8th page, it said, oh, you are allowing this company to name your firstborn child. And they were like, you guys didn't read anything. What is...
No way.
And they were like, and this was just an experiment. People were like, what?
Oh my God.
But then what is the alternative to terms and conditions? Because really, no one is reading it, but then we can't allow these companies to hide anything inside them. So then, like, what's the middle?
The thing is, we need terms and conditions, right? When you're entering into any contractual relationship, there needs to be some terms agreed. What needs to happen is there needs to be a base format, right? So this is what my opinion is. We need to have a basic format of a terms and conditions agreement that you have with a service provider. And everybody needs to be aware of it. And then they can add other things that are specific, like Disney Plus will want something a lot more specific to, I don't know, Wi-Fi and streaming services in comparison to what Trainline and, National Rail will have. Like, it'll be different. But as long as the base is still the same, and maybe give them a limit of how big it is, like, they're hundreds of pages. Even I get to a point where I accept things and I don't read them, because as a lawyer, I'm like, this is too much reading for me.
Here I am thinking that I've done a good job if I'm like, no, I don't want to accept all the cookies. I'm thinking, done me, pat on the back.
And that feels like such a task sometimes, because then you have to go down the menu and then deselect every single one, because like, oh yeah, only keep the essentials. I hate doing that. Sometimes I just get lazy and I'm just like, fine, track me. I mean,
it's fine.
Take all the data you want.
Just take it. Everything is online anyway. But that's the thing. It's like everything is online. I feel like I'm so Googleable. That's not a word, I know. But I'm like, so, like, you could put my name in and you'll find everything about me. And so it's at the point where I'm like, yes to all the cookies. Yes, take all my information. You know it all before I know it anyway. You give me ads for things that I didn't even dream of. And then I'm like, maybe I do want a cherry red purse. Like, maybe this is my next thing. And I'm like,
I bet now that you've said this, you're going to get a targeted Instagram ad of a cherry red purse.
I'll keep you guys updated.
They are definitely listening. They are all listening to us, honestly.
I get ads for things, the most vague things that I say. The next minute I open an app, I'll get an ad for it.
No, it's true. It's so weird, and it's like your Alexis. I hope she doesn't go off now. It's like they pick up things 10 or 15 seconds after you're speaking, right? So you say, "Hey, Alexa," and then it picks it up, and then after you finish speaking, it picks up the conversation. Now you can go into the app, delete it, clear it all, and remove it from the database. But if you don't, eventually that will get transcribed and then turned into, I'm not a big tech person, but that gets sold on to third party companies.
Yeah. And it's so problematic because then how do I exist in this online world without sharing everything about me?
Yeah, I've given up. It's okay.
Yeah,
My,
same.
Yeah, I think it's just the trade-off, right? Not that it's even a trade-off because you're having to provide everything to be able to access it, else there is no way to exist without it.
yeah, and even
Which
if
is
you
scary.
say no to all of these things, even if you're like no to Disney, no to Netflix, no to social media apps, even if you're like no, I don't want to say yes to any T's and C's, you sign T's and C's when you buy your phone or you get it on a contract. Like my phone's on a contract. I've signed T's and C's. My water and electric for the house is on a contract. There's T's and C's there. Every time I buy a train ticket, terms and conditions of like you can't escape it. Like
Yeah,
it's
that's true.
maybe 20 odd years ago, but no, I'm pretty sure there were terms and conditions then as well. Just maybe nothing to do.
But
Maybe it was God.
I do think with this story though, it's the link between two separate things. I think that's the bit that is unacceptable.
Yeah.
Yes, you can have like you said, you can have terms and conditions about water. Keep it all water based. But then for this guy who's lost his partner
Mhm.
as a result, do you know what I mean? He should have the right to then sue them and take them to court as a result. It has nothing to do for the fact that he probably watched something on Disney Plus a couple of years ago. I think those two things have to
Exactly.
be separate legally because else you
I
could
mean,
literally yeah, I don't know how they're connecting the dots with this too. It's
So
weird.
what they're saying, to play a little devil's advocate, what they're saying is everything Disney based, whether that's buying merch, whether that's going to the parks, whether that's Disney Plus, is all put through one Disney Plus My Disney account. So what you're doing when you're signing up for that, and maybe your first entry into the My Disney world is through Disney Plus. Maybe it's because you're buying park tickets. Maybe you're ordering merch for someone. Whatever it is, you have one account to access everything. So all the terms and conditions that you accepted the first time should expand to every aspect of your utilization of the Disney services, whatever it may be. But this begs the question, and it seems very far fetched. But if Disney, I don't know, starts making cars and then the car stops working, are you not going to be able to take them to court? Like, this is your point, is the
exactly.
link seems so tenuous
Yeah,
between streaming services and
Yeah. I just don't understand why. It to me, it sounds like a Judge Judy case, to be honest, the way that it's just the dissonance.
Yeah.
Like, why was
really
it?
take it.
I don't even understand how it was even taken to court to argue on this basis. Like, it just
So
doesn't make any sense.
yeah, we'll
Yeah,
find
it
out in
seems so unreal.
October. So we don't even get to find out now. We have to wait all the way to October to find out if a judge in Florida says, yeah, you can take Disney to court.
And I mean, imagine the kind of plight the guy must be going through because it's so infuriating because somebody else messed up. And because of that, their partner is dead. And you cannot even hold them accountable for it.
But it brings up the question about allergies, right? Like, I feel like allergies
Yeah.
are so many people take them so lightly, and it's unreal to me because it's like, oh, don't have nuts on the plane. I'm like, okay, I'm fine with that. I will, if someone's health is at risk, I think I can survive without my Snickers for a couple of hours. You get what I'm saying? But so many people are so anti it, and so many people take it so common. And I appreciate that there's a difference between preferences and allergies. But if someone has told them they have an allergy, even if they're lying, or they're exaggerating a preference, just accept that. I don't know if you guys have heard about what happened there's a Costa case in the UK. And
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah. And I do think
I
there
don't know
needs
what
to be, because
happened.
there's been a couple of cases, because there was also one at Pret as well, where someone had passed
Yes.
away due to an allergy. And it's just like, there has to be a way beyond the label where it's super obvious what are in these products. Because
yeah,
when someone, as you said, there is a difference between a preference and an allergy, and it can have, it has kind of very severe consequences for some people.
Yeah.
So it's really important. I just don't think it's an area that's really looked at. Do you see what I mean? I guess because I don't have any allergies, I take it for granted. But I can't imagine being in a world where you're allergic to something, for example, like dairy, and being constantly, because in a lot of these examples, they're literally confirming with them, does this have, like, it doesn't have this product in it, I cannot have it. But it still does. Like, I think, yeah, it's a real challenge. It's a real challenge.
You know, I'm happy for them to put something super bold on these things, like scream it at me. Every time I pick up a bottle of milk or maybe a canned coffee, scream at me what's in it so people who are allergic can be, like, I don't want the aesthetic. I'd rather that this 13-year-old girl who went to drink a hot chocolate, like, she told them her allergy, and, like, I don't understand. Something needs to be done, right? And this brings us back to just essentially what the additional steps can be taken, right? Like, we have terms and conditions to protect the company, but what protects us, the consumers?
Yeah,
but I just
as you said, it's got to be screamed on it. There has to be something on there, because even as a cashier and you're working over the till, you might make a mistake, and I think to leave it down to potentially human error just isn't the right thing to do. There has to be something that we can leverage technology to be able to support people to be able to identify whether that's something they're allergic to is within that product, because there's been way too many of these types of cases over the last couple of years.
And the thing is, these are, correct me if I'm wrong, avoidable. I would think if she's gone to Costa, she's like, look, I have an allergy to this, please put this milk in. I would assume that's avoidable. And I don't care if someone, maybe that's just me, but if somebody in front of me has severe allergies, I'll wait until their drink is made properly. Like, I just, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's too
that's the scary part.
big of a consequence.
Yeah, the fact that it's literally just down to someone just might pick up the role. We've all had jobs where you've kind of done a bit of service, having to serve somebody, and these things can just happen so easily. So to have it just literally down to an error, it's way too much onus on the barista or whoever it is that's serving.
I agree. And I have allergies, but they're not extreme in the sense that I can't have kiwi and walnut because I get very itchy and I break out in hives, but I'm fine. So it's not, and I still say, okay, please make sure there's no walnuts in it. And like, I'd rather not touch them. And that's just a casual allergy. I call it a casual allergy because I still have kiwi smoothies, don't judge me. And then they're tasty. What am I going to do? And then I'll have medicine. But the people who can't even be in a room near it, like, I feel like people are starting to, in this day and age, I know we've gone off on a tangent, but people take allergies so lightly now, and it really irritates me.
No, it's completely true. It's really true. And it's similar to the case, there was the guy off Love Island, right? Who was on a flight.
Jack.
And had Jack had like a severe I think it was like a nut allergy that he had. I think in the menu he asked them like, are there any nuts in this? They were like, no, it's fine for you to have. Fine, he had it, and he had like such a huge allergic reaction. And on the menu it said it contained nuts. I'm like,
it was literally like a cashew nut curry, if I'm not mistaken.
It literally, the title of it was like cashew nut curry, and just like the photos of him, like they had to like get him off the flight. Like, it's so scary to be that close to potentially losing your life, and you've confirmed and checked is something else. Yeah,
I think, I don't know, if they ban nuts off flights, I'm not too fussed about it. I've never gone for a food thing and been like, oh my god, I want this curry because it has nuts in it. like I'm happy if they ban nuts, and if they completely separate the dairy products, and if it takes them a little bit longer. Like, I don't think anybody who's not who doesn't have allergies, I don't have to worry about it. I think the rest of us will be okay for them to take a little bit longer, It's just
I think it's very important to be so vocal about the allergens present in something. Like, I have this coffee shop near my place, and every time I ask them for a cake, they make sure they're asking me if I have any allergies. And back home, that wasn't really a thing. Like, back in India, they don't really ask you about allergies. So I've never really...
Allergies don't exist in India, apparently.
Yeah, allergies just don't exist. So there was something I saw here that it's such a thing that people are cautious of, and it's so important because of cases like these.
No, it's good. I'm buying a water bottle at my gym, and they're like, do you have any allergies? And then I'm like, I'm buying water. And they're like, yeah, but if it's near something with a nut allergy, we'd recommend you don't touch it. And I'm like, see, it's things that we don't think about because it doesn't impact us.
And it's such little things.
Yeah,
It's
that's
so important
true.
to be considerate.
Yeah, because it asked me, and I'm like, mate, I'm buying water. Like, I don't think you need to ask me about allergies. And he was like, no, it's not. He goes, because contamination, it's not even just eating it. It's the fact that maybe someone, like, maybe it's been put next to the walnut loaves. And I'm like, oh, that's so clever. Just, there's a lot that goes into it. And it's just, if it doesn't impact us, we don't realize it.
Yeah.
And it's only until now, bringing it back to our Disney case, people will start to realize actually what terms and conditions, like how much of an impact they have. And I think it'll be very interesting for us to see if the courts say that Disney's clause is valid or if they say that it's not valid. I think we'll cycle back, guys, in October when we find out. Bringing in some corporate lingo. Now, though, I think it's a good time for a little break, and then we'll pick up the conversation. We have other interesting topics. So we'll be right back after this short break.
And we're back. We just have to recap this because this was the time where, the world stood still. I fell to my knees wherever I was. Guys, Mae, Tommy Fury have announced that they're broken up after being together for 5 years and engaged for the past 1 year. What do we make of the online reaction? It was just, I don't know why BBC News sent me a notification, came to my watch. I was just like, whoa, like, oh my God, it was like Posh and Bex, right? Someone likened it to Charles and Diana, but I thought that was perhaps a little bit too far. What did we think of what did we think of the online reactions? Did any of you get caught up in it?
It's my entire TikTok For You page. At the moment, it's all of this, and then it's all the couples that are in love from the Olympics. That's it. My entire TikTok page at the moment is this. And I remember watching this season of Love Island. I remember watching it, and these guys came runners up, and then everybody was like, oh my God, we love Molly Mae. And then Tommy Fury being popular because of his brother. Like, it was obvious that they were always going to be in the limelight. Like, I knew about that. And then she's grown as a person, if you can see it, because I remember she said some things in the beginning and I was like, what is wrong with you? And I discussed it on my show, and then you can see that she's grown as a personality, like an internet personality, a famous person, whatever you may call it. And so I appreciate that people feel connected when it comes to stuff like this, parasocial relationships. But I swear to the way people were analyzing this, like it was a GCSE. People had screenshots of her breakup message and his, and they were like, she has said my daughter. And he's not, he said our daughter. And I was like, you guys, I didn't do this much hard work for my English GCSE exam. What is happening?
Reddit was exactly like that. The comparisons, he was quite cold, but like versus her, she was really talking about the family. He must have done something. I was like, whoa, okay. It was just a message. It's just one of those messages that they all put up. Maybe we're not doing enough analysis when celebs are sending these messages out.
No, because it was fully like she's mentioned, I didn't expect it to end. I've read this all, by the way.
That I didn't expect it to end like this. I was like,
And then people were timestamping it, and people were like, 7 hours before this message, she posted a picture of the two of them, and he was seen in a club. And I was like, you guys, let them break up. Like, I appreciate that we're involved more than if our neighbors break up, but like, let them break up in peace, maybe.
I'm not gonna lie though, I did go onto her Instagram after I saw this.
Same.
Because then you had people have a look at like, when did she stop wearing the ring? And she posted a picture without the ring on. I'm like, okay, I can understand how people end up getting into this level of depth into their lives and everything. And I guess because I also watched their season of Love Island, you feel invested in the relationship a little bit. So I do understand. And as you said, she has grown a lot, and sort of the way she does Instagram now and her level of influence is a lot different from other people who've come out of the show as well. So I do think the way she's positioned herself is different to how others tend to.
You almost forget that she was on Love Island, because I feel that she kind of distanced herself from the show. I don't know. Did she get over the slight faux pas she did when she was saying that we all had the same 24 hours? Because I know there was that kind of bit of a blip there. But
I think she's grown, and you're right. You would think of Molly Mae and Tommy, and you wouldn't necessarily be like, oh, the Love Island couple. And the thing is, they had become, for Love Island, a kind of like a success story. They'd been together for so many years. They have a kid. They were engaged. And so I feel like people were invested in that sort of thing as well. They were like, oh, the show works. You know, we have a few couples that have come out of it. And these guys were like the latest one to come out of it. So I feel like that was another element of why people were invested in them. And they were like, oh, you know, it's working out. But if you followed them, there's been, and now I'm sounding like one of these people, but I just want to say, when I read something, I never forget it, and it's a really big problem of mine. So I remember reading something about this, a whole Twitter thread last year, and they were talking about how things weren't going well for them already. And I feel like, I was like, I appreciate that it's so easy for us to be invested and do all of this in-depth research, because everything is online, you know, most of our lives are online, and especially when you're an influencer or you're someone in the limelight. But it gets to the point where it's like, maybe let's give them some space. Like, why is the Daily Mail posting pictures of a skip parked in front of a house where she's thrown his stuff away? This is information I didn't need. Let the girl break up in peace.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I mean, it's always, because it's like the influencers do kind of feed it to an extent, because they do give us that source material, because they want to be in our mouths. They want us to all be talking about them. And it gives them a sense of relevance. But yeah, I guess it's difficult to then draw the line just as a consumer or an observer.
But it's a step too far when brands use it to post discount codes. I don't know who it was.
What?
I don't know which company it was. I can't remember. And I think, Ananya, I sent you the link for one of the articles, and it was a company, and they posted a discount code whilst they posted the whole "we're so sorry that you guys were broken up." And Domino's was one of them, but there was also a clothing company, and they've changed their posts now. And I was like, this is too far. Like, okay, you're acknowledging it, but this is, like, come on, guys. This is not
insane.
Even if the relationship is something that they have given us so much access to, they're still humans at the end of the day. Even if they film their day for us, like, have a little bit.
I mean, you cannot monetize another person's life like that.
Only they can.
That just takes out all the seriousness. Yeah, I mean, they can, but not other brands. I mean, Domino's especially.
Yeah, I know. I saw the thing, and they were like, we're so sorry, we've changed our initial tweet or post to acknowledge that it was wrong. And I was just like, yeah, bro, it's not even been 20 minutes. Like, were you ready? Waiting for it?
Yeah. I think these brands forget, like, there are humans behind this. Do you know what I mean? I would not imagine any of my breakups and then just seeing, like, Domino's posting, you know,
but then I guess
broken up 2024. Do you know what I mean? Use that to get a free, like, gosh, that would not be, I'm not using that.
Here's 50% off of comfort food for you.
Yeah, I suppose, but you would just... But then it's like, if you broke up with somebody, you wouldn't then go on Instagram and sort of do a notes, you know, oh, we've, like, I don't, even if it was just a regular person in my life that had ended things or whatever with their partner, like, isn't it a little bit strange to then go on your Instagram and actually write that message out? Like, I don't know, it just reminds me of the days of Facebook where you know, you'd have the "it's complicated" or "is now single," and everyone's like, oh my god, like jumping, like it's truly trivializing it. Whereas nowadays people just
the only way that I find out about regular people's breakups is if I see suddenly that they've stopped posting each other, and then I do a deep dive in their profiles, because why am I not seeing this person pop up on my feed every day? And I swear I did that
just for her friends, not for influencers.
Because I found out an influencer on my feed broke up with her boyfriend yesterday. And that was just what I described right now, because she posted something about wanting, like, a guy best friend who she doesn't want to date, but who can still provide all the benefits of a boyfriend. Then I realized, oh wait, didn't she already have one? And then I did an entire deep dive into her profile, and I found out her ex-boyfriend's Instagram, and I went down that. So, you know, it's just an example of how invested you get into these parasocial relationships.
It's easy. It's so easy to get invested because they're giving you, they're drip feeding you
the
information. They want you to get invested.
Yeah.
But I think they have to, right? Because it's part of the role. Because if you're like, because thinking about it as an influencer, right? It's finding that, where is that stop between keeping it private and then sharing it? Because if you don't share it, then people feel a little bit more disconnected. So I can't imagine what it's like to sort of try and find that balance between the two. But you sort of do have to share a little bit. So if people do feel like, oh, I saw you go and eat at X place, I'm going to do the same because I'm a step closer to you. I don't know. I just feel like it's part of that element of being involved into their lives and feeling like you're their best mate.
No, so I don't, so then it begs the question, are we over influencers or are we all still equally as obsessed? And maybe it's like a generational thing, because my sister's 10 years younger than me, just under 10 years younger than me. And I feel like people her age are not as, like, she follows people, but she wouldn't do the whole, oh, this person ate at this place, so I'm going to go eat there. She would say like, oh, I saw something on my like TikTok, and I feel like their relationship with influencers might be different to people my age. And I don't know, are we over influencers, or are we still like, does this prove that we're still as obsessed? Because it's the way within minutes I knew the last time she'd worn her ring, because TikTok was like, hey, here's this information, take it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we're still obsessed with it.
I think so. Yeah, people like to pretend that they're not, but it's, at the end of the day, there's a whole meltdown over this breaking news.
Exactly,
So,
as much as I would like to think that I don't really care what a certain influencer is doing in their lives, just an example of what I just spoke about says that I do get really invested.
I think
if something's changing.
Who I've invested in has changed over the years. Like, it's different people now, and it's not necessarily just influencers. It's people who work in business. Maybe it's singers. Yeah, like, I feel like the people I've invested in have changed. They're not pure influencers anymore. But I think that's less to do with me and more to do with the fact that there's no such thing as only an influencer now. Everybody's always doing other things. They're an influencer, but they have a hair care line. They're an influencer, but they do modeling. Like, I feel like everyone's wearing different hats, but we're still as the general public, as the lay person, our obsession hasn't, I don't think that's going anywhere. Social media has just made it easy.
I think it's still that.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, I agree. I think it's just that celebrity culture just has a different face, and it's now on our phones and readily available. And now you're every day, anyone else walking down the street can be an influencer regardless of scale. Do you see what I mean? So I do think it's just different. Whereas back in the day, you'd have like I was massively into sort of like the tabloid kind of magazines and stuff. Yes, it's just changed, and now it's just online, and anybody has that role and can play that role. I think it's probably just grown, and we have much smaller communities rather than it being your like Kay Price and Peter Andre, for example.
Oh my god, that was like all over the magazines when I moved to the UK, and that was my introduction to the UK, by the way.
What was introduction?
It was Peter Andre and Mysterious Girl, and now I'm going to sing that song for the next 2 days.
Well, that's the thing as well. It's like I suppose it was the sort of the same. I don't know. I guess it's the same culture, but just in different form, I suppose, as Astrid said. So, all we've done is migrate. And then you have celebrities as well, like, say a celebrity who felt, so I remember like when Will Smith kind of launched his social media, because like he never used to be, then he became like, oh, this internet dad. So even he felt that he had to come to the internet to get, this kind of accolades, or I don't want to say attention, you know what I mean? Attention, influence, but he felt that he had to come to this online space. So I guess even if those celebrities who might have sort of seemed mysterious.
Everyone's online. No one's mysterious anymore. No, I get that. And I think it's so easy to, sometimes it's not even you're following them. Sometimes you just genuinely like them. So you're like, oh, I want this to do good. As if they were your friends. Like when Stormzy and Mae and Tommy broke up, I was very sad. I was very, very sad because I really liked them together and I wanted them to stay together. And I was like, no, please, why? As if they were my best friends and they were breaking up. Like, they don't know who I am, but I was very sad. And then I'm not sure if this is confirmed, but they said that maybe Chris Martin and Dakota Johnson have broken up. And when you're like, oh my God, you like these people. And you're like, oh, I wanted this to work out because I like them, not because I'm like, I don't know what they're doing and who knows the last movie that she made or the last song they released. But I like them. And I'm like, yeah, you almost there's I feel like there's another aspect of these are people that you follow, maybe you're inspired by in some way, so you just want something good for them. It doesn't have to be almost like an obsessiveness, you know.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. And especially when you're looking at, because I think the level of following that we've been talking about in terms of influencers and stuff, I definitely do that with reality TV, and like Love is Blind at the moment has me obsessed with like following these couples.
Who are they?
Seeing, like who you're rooting for, like how does, and I do think you become, as you watch this, you become invested, and as you said, you want things to work out for them as well, even if you don't know them, but you feel like you're getting to know them through these mediums.
No, exactly. And yeah, oh my God, no, Love is Blind. I'm watching it and I'm like, no, I hope it works out for you. And, you know, they've obviously made the choice to go on this TV show that they know was going to propel them into everyone's eyesight. So you're like, yeah, they're fine with me following them and looking up on them and learning more about them because I want to learn more about this person, you know? And it's not like back in the day where information would be drip fed to you, you know? Everything is instantaneous. Everything is on our fingertips. Like, if something happens, I am always almost on, I jump on Twitter immediately to see if people are talking about it before it comes through normal news sources. Like, everything is so out there. It's so easy to get information. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It's very easy to get obsessed with people, but I feel like there's no harm in rooting for people. I guess there just needs to be a boundary because certain people just take it too far for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the whole sitting down and analyzing is just way too much.
That made me
Taking
laugh.
screenshots and I mean...
That made me laugh. Like, she has said my daughter, he has said our daughter. Guys, and they were like,
I don't even think they spent that long thinking about it.
They think that the message, no.
Exactly.
This is what
That's
I'm
just
saying.
more unhealthy for yourself than it is for them.
But
Girl,
also
please.
skills. I feel like anybody who's analyzing things to that level, do that in your exams and you'll see good grades. because this is
Exactly. I mean,
wild.
use those skills in the right place.
This is wild. And that, guys, is a good place for our next break. And we'll be right back. I think we have more interesting things to discuss. We'll be right back after this short break.
And we're back. So that was a lot of interesting conversation we've had. And on that note, I recently read that the Polish airline Wizz Air has announced a new subscription model. And to give you a little background, basically, for €499 a year, you can book unlimited flights to Wizz Air. And I want to know if you would subscribe to this program, or do you think other airlines should have these kind of subscription models? What do you guys think?
I think the 3-day, the ironically, the terms and conditions of this are not actually as suited as I thought. Because I thought, oh, this is not bad considering you would get unlimited flights. But then if you see that you can only book 3 days in advance, then you have to pay a fee. There's no baggage. And then you realise that it's Wizz Air where you can just get it for cheap anyway. It's perhaps not really worth it.
That's exactly what I thought. Because then if I'm paying £10 anyways, I'll probably get it for like 20, 30 if I don't have the model, if I'm not a subscriber. So what's the point? It's Wizz Air.
The thing is, this is not the only airline that's doing this. I discussed this on my show earlier today. Frontier in America, but also Air Asia, which Ananya will have heard of. These guys are doing it as well. And there's different versions. So Frontier has the whole, you get it for a year and then you pay for your seat, your baggage, and you don't pay a booking fee, but you just pay for your baggage. That's it. But they don't have a whole, you have to wait so many days to kind of get it. And Air Asia's one is you not only can book as many flights as you want to certain destinations, but you earn points and you get discounted hotel and travel. And, you know, it's unlimited. I think it's 130 places. It sounds really good. And I do like the idea of it. It's Wizz Air that's throwing me off, you know? Like if Air France did it, I'd be like, sign me up. Take me. How do I pay? Like, take me. But like, I don't know about if I want to do it if Wizz Air is doing it.
Yeah, exactly. If it's a more reliable airline, then I can maybe consider it. But if it's Wizz Air and you probably end up paying more for the damages that have been done to you because it's probably been rescheduled or cancelled, or you're paying extra for taxis later anyway. So what's the point then?
It's not as if the sort of the range or of flights available are that attractive either in terms of paying such a large amount of money, because it is mostly just Europe. So it's already very competitive, and you can probably find a better deal anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was great, and then I saw what we had to sign up to.
Terms and conditions.
Exactly.
I think what's very interesting is Frontier does monthly passes, okay? So they do it, so they're like, try it for a month, see if you like it, go from there, right? And they seem to have, I know it's American, so it's not, it's not something that I personally would get, but they seem to have a better version for it, in the sense that you get 2 weeks before departure to select, and you pay basically 1 cent to book it, and then you can get your bags. Seats are included, So I feel like that seems to be a better version, but maybe it's just because Wizz Air, I feel like, is still pretty new in the sense that it's still working out on a lot of its issues. We know it's really bad, and it's been given like it's the 3rd year running worst flight in terms of delays and stuff. And I mean, other than that, it's a decent enough airline if you want, and it's great that there is an option to have this budget thing. And obviously they will have a lot of T's and C's, linking back to our first topic. But the idea behind it, I think, it's almost revolutionary. Like, I like it's like buying a season train ticket, right? Like, I like the idea behind it.
Yeah.
It's just more airlines need to get on board to then get a model that really works and that's beneficial to them and us.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I can imagine, like, if you were a student taking a gap year, for example, having something like this that you've paid like £500, you can then decide how do you want to use that time and go to these different countries. I think it's quite a nice idea, but I agree with you. I think like probably the airline's probably putting people off, will put me off. I definitely... Not sure if I'd consider it now with just 25 days holiday, trying to like map it all out.
Right.
But I do think I'm definitely one of those people who does, I don't know if you guys have seen this, where it's like how to turn your 25 days holiday into 60 days. I always do that at the end of December. And I'm like, right, I need to take 5 days in Jan. Then with these bank holidays, like, so having to do a lot of gymnastics. Have you seen
next year's one? They're saying you can turn it into 61 days. And I'm like, that is wild.
Whoa!
You need to find it. Find it on Insta or TikTok or whatever, but find it, because it is, next year is good in terms of these holidays. Talking about holidays, I am hopefully aiming to start traveling to places more. I haven't traveled that much. I want to know everyone's bucket list holiday locations. Astrid, go on. What's your bucket list holiday?
Oh, bucket list holiday. So I want to do more of Asia. So I did quite a bit this year. So I did Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand. So I want to do a lot more of Thailand. That's kind of on my list. So yeah, I would say bucket item is see more of Thailand. Japan as well is on the list. I feel like everybody's been in Japan and I haven't. So I'm like getting serious FOMO. Yeah.
I like that. Astrid?
Yeah, probably would be a bit more of the same. So I've never actually been to Asia before. So Korea would definitely be somewhere I'd love to go to. And Japan as well, but also some other parts of Africa. So last year we were in Senegal. Would love to do like Zanzibar, Seychelles, like that kind of area. And there's someone at the moment who's in one of my colleagues is in Madagascar, and the views look amazing.
People actually go to Madagascar? So it was just
I've been. I've been. Yeah,
I need to rejig my list, I think.
No, it's beautiful, and I'm just like, because I remember telling, but it was years ago when I went, so kind of reliving it again through her pictures. So, but yeah, definitely like a bit more East Coast of Africa and a bit of Asia.
And Ananya, what about you?
I've kind of like two separate lists. Once, some not done Europe at all. I want to do like a proper Euro trip, as everybody talks about. It's such a quintessential young adult experience, backpacking through Europe. But I want to do that. And I want to do the entire mountain ranges in India, because just traveling, just being in the mountains for a couple of months sounds really nice to me. So yeah, those are two things I really want to do.
My list is never ending. I feel like I'm just gonna, and I think that's the whole point, is that I'm gonna spend the rest of my life just exploring my list. I'm gonna keep finding new places. But one thing I really want to do is I want to go back. So my best friend from university, we've said that we'll go to each other's home countries. So she's gonna take me Ghana, and I'm gonna take her India, and I'm so excited about that.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
We're both 30 next year,
Nice.
which is scary. So she's planning a holiday, and I'm planning a holiday, and I think she wants to do Europe. And I said, okay, if you do something in Europe, because I've only done a few places, and I'm trying to push her to, like, I want us to do Croatia or Albania. Like, I don't want to. I'm like, yes, we need to do Italy and Greece and whatnot as well, for sure. But I want to do those places before they become so popular that everyone goes there, right? And
Yeah, definitely.
and then I want to explore more of like Hong Kong, Singapore, South Korea. Like I think I want to go South Korea for my 30th next year.
That's amazing.
Ananya, this is a sign for you to start saving, because you're coming as well. I'm telling you 16 months in advance. I'm not even 29 yet, but you're coming to Korea for my 30th.
No, for sure, because I really got into Korean food lately. I don't know. And I just want to explore more of it so much. So South Korea sounds nice.
I mean, I need to explore, actually, I'm saying so far-fetched locations. Can I actually explore Wales and Scotland and Ireland first? Because I am a London girl.
I've not been to Scotland yet.
And neither have I.
Wow. At the same time.
You've been living here since like...
This is what I'm saying.
Almost.
I've been here for like 18 years. You've been here for a year. You're okay. I need to leave more.
Wow.
I need to leave past the Midlands. I'm not going anywhere. Okay?
I really cannot imagine you've not done Scotland yet.
That's because every time you guys I have a days off or any time off, I either go back home to India or I go back to the Amsterdam where I used to live, and that's it. I never explored the UK. So maybe I start with going to the Lake District, and then I'll go South Korea.
It's beautiful there. No, for sure.
Yeah, it's stunning. Definitely recommend the Lake District. Yeah.
There
are some nice places, but I think with exploring the UK, I find that you look at the cost and then you're like, I could get the Eurostar and come. Do you know what I mean? I just like the maths is not mathsing when it comes to holidaying in the UK. So for my 30th is approaching next month. So I'm doing we're doing, because I wanted to do more of Europe, so we're doing Paris. But literally it was like 70 quid to do a return on the Eurostar. But for me to go home, so I'm originally I grew up in Devon, it's exactly the same price, but I could be in Paris versus the Southwest. I don't know.
No, it's so valid, because I have been wanting to go to Devon and Cornwall for absolutely ages, and then I look at the time it will take me and the cost it will cost me, and then I'm like, or I could just go back to Amsterdam, a different country. And then you look at train tickets to like Manchester, and I'm like, you know what? I want to see these cities, and some of them have nothing, but I've lived in the UK. I say I'm from London. I should probably go and see Manchester, even if I hate it and there's nothing there. I know, but like, why am I paying £400 when my flight to India?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's wild. These train prices, it's wild.
It's insane. I was thinking I'd experience the train experience here. I mean,
no, not unless it's the Elizabeth line.
Yeah, exactly. So I looked at the prices, like, no, I'm just gonna take the National Express bus. Yeah, it's cheaper, way cheaper.
Yeah.
But I did Northern Ireland recently. That's really pretty. So we did Belfast and oh my God, I'm forgetting the name of the place. Giant's Causeway? Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a lot of these places, they shot Game of Thrones as well. And it has that vibe of just like mystic.
The UK is pretty. There's some beautiful places, really and it just costs too much to get there. So maybe when they nationalize the railways and things get cheaper,
it will encourage more tourism for sure.
Maybe in a couple of years we'll go down south rather than the south of France or something.
Yeah.
And that, you guys, I think is all we have time for on doing the thing today. This was so much fun. I love this. So thank you to Ananya, Astrid, and Chinny. Guys, where can our listeners find you? Ananya, do you want to tell us first?
Yeah, so I'm on every Saturday at 1 p.m. I'm live on ZARD Radio.
Amazing. And Astrid and Chinny, guys, where can listeners find you?
Yes, so It's a Constant. We're a podcast that you can find on your favourite podcast Cool. And we're also on Instagram, It's a Continent Pod. Twitter, It's a Continent. It'sacontinent.com is our website.
Amazing. And listeners can find me live every Sunday at 12. Remember to catch new episodes of Doing the Thing live on Wizard Radio Station every Sunday from 8 and on all podcast platforms from Monday morning. We'll see you guys all next week.